Good morning. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith here at the National Weather Service in Pocatello with your weather hazard briefing for Monday, November 8th. Welcome to your break before our next storm system moves in across southeast Idaho. So that's really our forecast focus here for the next few days. Widespread lower elevation rain, higher elevation snow expected to move into our southeast Idaho forecast area starting pretty early during the morning on Tuesday. That activity continuing throughout the day into Tuesday night. Really starting to look like the brunt of this system is going to target us Tuesday and Tuesday night. Not so much Wednesday and beyond. There will be some lingering snow shower activity, some lighter activity into Wednesday, but Tuesday will be the main event. So the key question here that we're really kind of focusing in on, a lot of this snow is going to be quite high in elevation. So where and when could some travel impacts try to creep down into some of our lower elevation areas, some of our population centers? Couple concerns there that we'll touch on here in just a moment. Finally, a little bit of a drying and warming trend will start Wednesday and Thursday and continue into next weekend, but it's still going to be unsettled with maybe some snow shower activity for some of our mountains across the region. Breaking everything down here in our weather risk outlook by geographic region and by day. A little bit of patchy morning fog certainly possible today in portions of the Snake Plain, particularly north and east of Idaho Falls. Also down into the eastern and southeastern highlands. Not terribly widespread, not going to pose a huge issue for most of you. Main event really arrives here on Tuesday, and we continue to light most of the region up for some minor impacts. Snake Plain and Magic Valley, you're mostly going to be rain out of this system, particularly in all of our population centers and interstate corridors. But as you get into all of our mountain regions, certainly some snow mixing in as you go up in elevation, some impacts at the passes, and portions of the Sawtooths. Not necessarily Stanley in the immediate area there, but certainly some of the surrounding mountains like the Sawtooths and Pioneers picking up on some pretty decent snowfall out of this system at higher elevations. Some more moderate impacts as you get above pass level. Wednesday, few snow showers lingering. It's going to be breezy throughout this event, both Tuesday and Wednesday across the region. And then, again, kind of a warming, drying trend as we finish out the week and head toward the weekend. Maybe a few light snow showers continuing in our mountain areas here on Thursday and Friday, but not expecting any huge organized systems to come plowing through the region beyond our main event here for Tuesday. No watches, warnings, or advisories to talk about in our local area despite the impending storm. Just not looking for heavy enough accumulations down low enough for most of our region to pull the trigger, at least yet, on any of those types of alerts. Satellite this morning, kind of hard to pick this system out. There's actually a nice little spin right in here if you see where my cursor is located. This is out in the Pacific Northwest, well to the west-northwest of Seattle, south of Alaska. You can see Alaska up here. Nice stream of moisture coming in across the Pacific and starting to head toward the coast. This is setting the stage for our system that's going to come marching onshore on Tuesday. High temperatures today for your break day in between systems. Fairly cold, but not unusual for this time of year across the region. 37 for Island Park, but for most other areas getting into the 40s for high temperatures this afternoon. So let's jump right into some timing here on this next system. So as we always caution you, what we're about to show you is what a particular computer model thinks the radar might look like as we go forward here with this event. This is simulated reflectivity. It's not perfect. It is a forecast. It's not necessarily reality, but does give you a broad picture, a general idea of kind of what we're expecting in some of the areas that we're going to be targeting here. So I'll also note here, this particular model, this is the NAM Nest, a little bit earlier on the onset time than some of our other guidance, so bear that in mind as well. As we kick off at 3 a.m. and then 4 a.m. Tuesday morning, we'll start to see that activity, that rain and snow activity moving into the central mountains from Stanley down into the Wood River Valley, maybe down into Lincoln County as well. Again, this may be a little early. It may be more like 6 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock for start time, but certainly some wiggle room here as we're over a day out from the start of this event. This is really our first window that we're worried about. Here's 5 a.m. You can see pretty good snowfall up across the western portion of the Central Mountains. A little bit of rain coming in across the eastern Magic Valley. Remember, the low temperatures Tuesday morning are going to be solidly below freezing outside of our main interstate corridor here. So this whole Central Mountain region right down into the Wood River Valley starting out quite cold. So this period during the morning from about 4 or 5 a.m. when things kick off until late morning, say about 11 a.m., that window is our first opportunity that we're watching very closely for some travel impacts, some moderate and perhaps even heavy snowfall up here across the western central mountains. Generally, we're expecting the accumulations to be above about 6,000 to 6,500 feet, but this time period, again, about 5 a.m. to 11 a.m., we may have the opportunity to mix some decent snowfall rates down into the Wood River Valley, Sun Valley, Ketchum, Haley, Stanley, also down into Tomcat Summit, perhaps affected as well. May pick up an inch or two of snowfall right down to valley floors during this period. So that's kind of that first impact window that we're watching outside of the passes that will be affected throughout this event. You can see rain here moving into the eastern Magic Valley, still generally west of Pocatello by 6 a.m. As we get into mid to late morning, there's 9 a.m., widespread rain and snow across all of southeast Idaho, perhaps not quite into Bear Lake yet. You can see rain for all of our major population centers here along the interstates. Mix of rain and snow in the Wood River Valley, snow at the higher elevations, Island Park, perhaps starting to see some snow transitioning to a rain-snow mix by late morning Tuesday. As we go to 10 a.m., 11 a.m. You can see all the activity starting to march east, and afternoon is really going to favor this corridor here east of I-15, south of 86. Okay, it's a west to east moving event. This will be an afternoon show for most widespread precipitation here outside of the interstates, or I should say south and east of the interstate corridors. High temperatures that we're heading for Tuesday afternoon, warm enough that a lot of our valleys, a lot of our plains will see rain with some snow continuing here in the mountains. Getting up just a little bit above freezing in Island Park, but 40s for Driggs, Chalice, Stanley, Sun Valley, and certainly down here in the eastern Magic Valley and lower Snake Plain as well. By noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, again, most of the rain and snow shower activity focused here to the east of I-15. 3, 4, 5 o'clock, little bit of a diminishing trend, but I think this model might be a little too excited about drying us out that quickly. Do expect to continue to see rain and snow shower activity through the afternoon here in the east. And this is our second opportunity in a slightly different area where we're watching for impact. So again, mountain passes will be affected throughout the event, but as temperatures cool Tuesday evening, say 6 o'clock onward, Tuesday evening. Places like Island Park may change over to some more organized snow. Driggs here in the Teton Valley may change over as well, and we may pick up a couple inches down in some lower elevation areas on some highways there outside the passes. And we do expect some rain and snow shower, predominantly snow shower activity to continue overnight Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, again, particularly here in the southern and eastern highlands. So here's our official storm total snow forecast for the entire event. Again, most of this is Tuesday into Tuesday night. Big winners out of this, the Sawtooth Mountains, a lot of areas getting over 6 inches of snow way up high above pass level, and we'll see some decent accumulations into the Pioneer Mountains as well. A lot of the mountains here in Fremont County surrounding Island Park picking up on some hefty totals, 4, 6, 8 inches of snow. The Grand Tetons will also be affected. Also down here in the Bear River Range. Stepping down from there, let's look at mountain passes. We are expecting generally 2 to 4 inches of snow, 2 to 5 inches of snow here for Banner Summit and Galena Summit. Similar down here at Emigration Summit, Pine Creek Pass, 1 to 2, 1 to 3 inches of snow. And then up here at Reynolds and Targhee Passes, 1 to 2 inches of snow as well. So that's where we have the best confidence in highway impacts from snow, is really at these passes. Step down one more time. Again, we're watching those two windows. Tuesday morning for Stanley, Sun Valley, Haley, down toward Tomcat Summit and Craters, for the potential of an inch or two of snow to valley floors and some travel impacts for the morning commute in this general area. Over here in the east, Island Park and Driggs, you'll have your shot at a coating to maybe 2 inches of snow, particularly as we get into later Tuesday evening into Tuesday night, if we can keep that snow shower activity going. Watching for impacts there. This graphic also shows you a nice footprint of how low the flakes may go for the region, even areas where we're not seeing a lot of accumulation. So not expecting impacts along 84, 86, and most of I-15 until you get up into the Spencer and Monida Pass area. But you can see Arco, maybe down as low as Ashton. Could see a little bit of snow mixing in, just not a lot of accumulation out of this event. Lots of different ways we can play with this data, and we can show you also some kind of probabilistic information, okay? First one I'm going to show you here is what is the worst case scenario. If Mother Nature just lets everything go and this event overperforms, maybe we have heavier precipitation that moves in earlier, maybe our temperatures hold just a little bit colder. This is our worst case scenario in terms of snowfall accumulations. You can see that shading getting really down low here into the Snake Plain, although still not hitting Pocatello and Burley. And you can see a few population areas here, Stanley, Ketchum, Island Park, Driggs, maybe making a run at closer to 4 inches. Again, this is not what we're expecting. This would be a worst case scenario if the event does decide to overperform. You can also look at percent chance of 2 inches of snow or more. What is that probability of reaching that 2-inch threshold? Burley, Pocatello, Idaho Falls, Rexburg, not going to happen out of this event once again. It's possible up toward Island Park and Driggs if we see some heavier snow during the overnight period into Tuesday night. A little bit better chance at Stanley and Ketchum. Again, there's a lot of variables up here. How quickly does that precipitation move in? How long do the valleys and basins up in that region hold on to cold enough temperatures to capitalize on some decent snowfall coming down? And we do have some model guidance that's suggesting snowfall rates may reach half an inch an hour during that 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. time frame up here in the Central Mountains and Wood River Valley. So something to keep in mind there. Will be breezy with the system moving through. Wind gusts Tuesday here on the left, Wednesday wind gusts here on the right. So both days seeing generally west-southwest flow, transitioning to more of a west-northwest flow. Certainly some gusts over 30 miles an hour, particularly in the terrain here on Tuesday, and both days everywhere seeing gusts over 20 miles an hour across the region. With how marginal temperatures are and the areas that we're expecting rainfall, there's just not a lot of overlap as far as blowing snow potential, where we have cold enough temperatures and fluffy snow along with the winds to really create problems there. Wednesday behind the system, high temperatures getting up into the upper 30s to mid 40s. Not much change here for Thursday, but by Friday, there's a hint of some improvement there to the high temperatures. 50 for Chalice, making a run at 50 also out toward Burley and Minidoka and Shoshone. Still only 36 up in Island Park, 41 in Driggs by Friday. Fairly seasonable temperatures, even with that slight warming trend into the weekend. And that's your hazard briefing for today. As always, questions, comments, concerns, feel free to reach out to us here at the office, and have a great Monday.